Hello there everybody, it is me XfreezerBunny. Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build, and welcome once again to another build featuring the Sims 4 eco lifestyle. So today we are building this eco industrial loft. I am so excited to finally be back with another apartment build because I really enjoy doing builds like these, even though they don't exactly function like actual apartments. Now, just to clarify, this is just a house, but it was made to specifically look like a loft apartment. I tried my best to minimize all of the walls and all of the costly expensive stuff. So throughout this build, you'll see that I'm actually going to be using a lot of debug objects to make this look like a legit apartment. But the structure of the house itself is just this box right here. And I was actually really inspired by an image I saw on Instagram. I'm pretty sure if you're lurking on places like Instagram or on Pinterest, you've probably seen this industrial apartment in Poland. I believe it's in Krakow, Poland. I'm not sure. I've heard a friend of mine who has been to Poland actually say that it's pronounced Krakow. But also a lot of people say it like Krakow, so I'm not really sure how it's properly pronounced. Please feel free to correct me in the comments below. Apologies if I totally butchered how you say that, but this apartment right here was based on that real life one. I'm probably gonna share it on my Insta stories if I can still find that reference image. So please go ahead and check out Instagram when this video comes up. It's probably gonna be on my Insta stories. But what basically just convinced me to recreate that is this really beautiful loft area that overlooks kind of like a really stylish, modern, industrial living area, and I just really love that vibe. I thought that that would be perfect for eco lifestyle and all of the new items that we got. And right here, as you can see, I'm also using a lot of stuff from Moschino, which is definitely one of my favorite stuff packs, and I gotta say that the windows from Moschino are just so amazing. I am also blown away by the lighting in this world right here. I think it's because of the windows, but just the way that they let in that amount of light is just so stunning. I've already shared a preview image of this on Twitter, and a lot of you really love that lighting, and I agree. I think the lighting is just so incredibly amazing. I'm really happy with how it all came together, especially with how the windows work and how it just lets out all of this amazing light. I'm just so happy that this build came together the way that it did. So here I'm just trying to figure out what the layout of this loft is going to be, because I know what the loft is going to look like. I had no idea what the rest of the house was going to look like, and as I mentioned earlier, I wanted to minimize the actual structure of this because as much as possible I would want this to be affordable. I'm actually not sure how much this ended up being, but I don't think it's going to be that expensive. But for the exterior of this build, I just went for something that was very basic, because in my mind this area, which was mostly kind of like the industrial area of Evergreen Harbor, is like, I don't know, I just had this idea in my mind that this used to be kind of like housing for industrial workers, and then over time it's been abandoned and it's been converted into this residential area for some pretty stylish hipster artists. So this house / apartment ended up having 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom, and it was primarily designed for an artist, so you will see a lot of skill items specifically for an artsy sim. And this is also where I incorporated the juice fizzing station, which is something that I've actually dabbled a little bit in my own personal gameplay, so I'm really excited to show that off later on. But yeah, for the exterior I just kept it really simple. I wanted it to look like a warehouse, which is why I used that gigantic hanger door that came with Get Famous. That one you can find in debug, and one thing that made me so disappointed about that door is that you can't actually open it. I'm so disappointed that you can't open that hanger door because it is beautiful, first of all, and it looks like you can interact with it. I actually thought you can open it when I first saw it, but apparently not, which was really disappointing. But I used that for like the garage door, like the warehouse area of this build, which is the entire ground floor basically. And then basically the living area is located on the second and third levels of this house, and I used the windows from Moschino to make it look like it's just one, you know, multi-story windows, which at the moment we don't really have in The Sims 4, which is really disappointing because we had those in The Sims 2. Like The Sims 2 had a specific category of having like two-story windows, and yeah, that was really cool to use. I actually loved using those way back when. But now that we're working on the interior, I went for pretty much the same aesthetic as the house I was referencing, which is a lot of white and a lot of wrought iron. I used that beautiful wood flooring that came with Eco Lifestyle, and just a lot of white all throughout the interior, with one statement wall, which is the wall to the right. And it's an entirely brick wall. It's the same material I used as the exterior, and I love doing that because it kind of makes me feel like, you know, the owners wanted to highlight the original materials that were used in this building, so they decided to expose one segment of it so that, you know, people can appreciate it. And that is the wall you are seeing me decorate right now. For the kitchen, once again, I just kept it really simple. There isn't an actual dining room in this house. It's more of like a dining bar space, which is directly connected to the kitchen. But once again, I just stuck to mostly whites and blacks. For this living room, I used this beautiful new sofa that came with Eco Lifestyle, and I made it into an L-shaped sofa, by the way. Also, I just have to mention that the texture on that sofa looks so realistic. I've heard so many people say that it looks like CC. I totally agree. Like, it totally looks like CC, but that's a good thing in my opinion. And for the living room, I also put one of those really big square coffee tables, and I did test this out, and the sim can actually sit on one of those sofas, so at least one of them is functional. And as I mentioned earlier, I did make this for an artist, so I put an easel in here. I played around with this layout right here because I wasn't sure if the easel was going to be functional in that corner where I initially squeezed it into, so I moved it around just to give it a little bit more space to, you know, make it more functional. And of course, throughout this interior, I put a lot of plants, like a lot of plants. One major complaint I have with the plants though is that so many of them just turns black when you place them inside. I don't know what is up with this lighting. I'm not sure if the plants were originally intended to be placed outdoors. I have no idea. But when you place them inside, they just turn so dark, and I just find that so frustrating. Even if you place like lamps or lights inside of them, they still don't have, you know, the right lighting for the interior. Like, as you can see, that plant to the side, to the corner right there, it's so dark. It like stands out so much in this really brightly lit interior, and I just found that really annoying. And also, one thing I wish is that some of the items from Eco Lifestyle, I'm pretty sure you've already heard people talk about this as well. I wish that some of the items from Eco Lifestyle got separated, because so many of them, like the paintings and the plants, they come in like a combination set of multiple different pieces. I would have liked to have, you know, those individually so that, you know, we can use them, because I don't really want to have to use this really gigantic planter box set that's like 4, plants. I wish I could use those plants individually because the plants themselves are so amazing. They look so good, and it would be amazing to be able to put those like on top of a table or something, but at the moment we can't because those aren't separated. And yeah, here we're just decorating this feature wall with these amazing paintings and portraits. I didn't overdo it because at the end of the day I also wanted the wall to be its own attraction as well, so I kind of just had to tiptoe a little bit of a balance of having just enough artwork to make it feel lived in but also highlight that wall, which is such a beautiful feature in my opinion. For this bedroom, I put the bed next to the wall. I'm not sure if the feature of having a sim scoot from the other side of the bed to the one next to the wall still works, because I tested it. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I don't know how to get it to work, to be honest. I think it's one of those glitches, because I feel like I've heard the Sim Supply also mention it in one of his videos as well. So yeah, anyway, I did design this house for single sim, even though I feel like it'll also work for a couple as well. Anyway, I really love this loft area. The layout of it is from the reference images, even though I don't think that the reference apartment actually had this as a bedroom. I think they had this like as a living room / lounge areas. Some of these paintings are magazine clippings, and in my mind they're kind of like work from the artist that lives here that they showcased, because they're memorabilia from previous projects that they did. And over here I love this office space that overlooks this loft area, and there we go again with another one of the plants that turn completely black when you put them on top of a table or something. I just tried my best to light that up properly. Obviously none of the lights that I put really worked, but I put a couple of candles in there. I'm not quite sure how candles work because I try putting candles like on tables, and sometimes my sim can light them, sometimes they can't. I don't know how they work exactly. Maybe I have to get a little bit more into that, but I'm just putting in a bit of personality in here. I love putting that pencil case thing on that basket. I think that makes this whole place feel very rustic. And also here I'm incorporating some wooden beams using spandrels. These are some spandrels from pets specifically, and I feel like they just make this place look so realistic. And since I was going for that industrial vibe, I think that it makes sense to have these exposed beams. By the way, if you can hear that passing by, that is the train. And I gotta tell you guys, I gotta admit, this is the first time I'm hearing that train in like 3 months, because while we were on lockdown, we did not have public transportation. I'm guessing that since we're starting to open up, they're testing the train to see if it still works properly. So hopefully that'll be back really soon, because it's been a nightmare to work and not have public transportation. Luckily, I have the amazing privilege of being able to work from home, because like I said, I typically use the train to get around and it's not on, so hopefully that'll make things a little bit better. But for the bathroom, I just kept it really simple. Nothing too crazy. I didn't have a space to make a luxurious bathroom, so it's pretty straightforward. And also there's a little room next to the bathroom behind the kitchen that I made into kind of like a laundry area. That's what I was trying to say. And over here there's this cute little main entrance with one of those shelves that you can craft, and I put a couple of sculptures in there as well, just to give this place a little bit more of a stylistic edge, especially around the main entrance area, which tends to be pretty boring in my opinion. So having some sculptures there on display, I think, gives it a little bit more of a personality. For the rooftop, I kept it really simple. I have an idea for another build. that's more of like a green roof type of thing, so I'm probably gonna expound on that idea on another future build, but I just kept it really simple. There's a couple of gardening things, you know, there's a couple of planter boxes over here as well if you want to grow some plants to use in your juice fizzing station. Speaking of the juice fizzing station, I have been really enjoying gameplay recently. In fact, I got the achievement when you have played the game for a certain period of time. It will give you an achievement, and I gotta say, it's been a while since I've got that. I don't even remember when was the last time I got that achievement, but you know, patting myself on the back for actually doing gameplay for once. Though, one thing that I do have to mention, I'm not sure if it's just me, but recently I have been getting a lot of performance issues. I'm not sure if it's just me, if it's just my game, but I have been getting like really bad lag, and also my game has crashed multiple times. I'm not sure if you noticed it in this video, but the footage, sometimes it's flickering, like there's this weird yellow flicker, and also some of the windows and doors also flicker with this green pixelated thing. It makes me really worried, like I'm not gonna lie, and I know that EA has put out a couple of patches recently to address some of the performance issues, but so far none of them have fixed that for me, so I'm not sure if it's just my, you know, computer or whatever, but I hope it's not, because I don't really want to have to go out and buy myself a new computer because I can't afford it. And I also hope that I don't have to lower my graphics settings, even though I'm terrified that that might be the case, because I'm really happy with how my game looks at the moment. So hopefully I won't have to change that to make my game run better. But yeah, while I was ranting about that, we did furnish the basement area, and it just kept it, well, it's not a basement, it's the ground floor industrial warehouse area, and that's basically where I put the juice fizzing station. Obviously it's meant to be a garage, so I put a couple of storage equipment in there, and I also put like a generator and water filter in there as well, and also a ping pong table, which I don't think I've ever used ever since we've had university. So since we had a lot of space on that ground level, I decided to just incorporate that. And instead of putting another fake building in here, in this area, I just decided to make it into a parking lot because I feel like it makes sense for this area, and I think it looks really nice, I have to say, and I'm really happy with this build. Actually, I definitely feel like if I can afford it, I would definitely move my sim in here, but I think that's actually going to be it for this build. So I hope you all enjoyed it. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please let me know in the comments below. But other than that, I'm gonna go now. Thank you so much for watching. You all have an awesome day. Enjoy the rest of the video, and I will see you guys next time. Bye bye.